Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Klinger2. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the new CEO of YouTube and pretty much my take on this because this impacts me sort of not from a viewer or YouTuber standpoint, even how small I am. This impacts me because I think it just kind of relates into my field that I'm studying, being through cybersecurity, computering, and everything like that. So yeah, let's just get into it. So basically, Susan, this person, is stepping down from the CEO of YouTube, and she's been there for quite some time. I think it was like 10 or so years. And then this dude's stepping up, Neil Mohan. Now, this guy seems to be pretty qualified for the position as far as, like, writing on the paper goes. Definitely, this is just kind of the stuff he's been through. He's been a strong background in advertising, which is always nice when you basically have YouTube is for the most part an advertising company. I mean, they make their money through ads. They do promotions and stuff like that with big companies who pay the money through Google Ads. So that's how they make a lot of their money. Really, the videos are just platforms for them to advertise on. So when it comes down to it, this guy is actually having that basically background in advertising is a big deal for YouTube since it's pretty much just an advertising platform when you think of it. He's done some stuff beneath Susan that's obviously been either for the better or worse, depending on how you view it. But to the company, as long as it makes them money, they're not going to be super mad at him, whatever he does, as long as it makes him money when it comes down to it. So basically, whenever TikTok came out, he had to basically create some sort of match to TikTok. So he made YouTube Shorts, put it in India first, it says here, and then it worked, obviously. YouTube Shorts is huge now. So that was a big success. And I think YouTube Shorts it's everyone should have Shorts at this point because of TikTok. I mean, it's just how it is. Basically, he just played some pivotal roles in YouTube's biggest productions, being YouTube TV, music, and premium. Now, like I said, to the average consumer, these can be. It does, some people don't like them a whole lot, because you have to pay a lot of money for them, and some people might like them. Some people just don't care that they even exist. So, like I said, but ultimately it's if Google makes money. Now, this is kind of a unique one that I didn't really know was super prevalent here, but pretty much currently there's been this, I watched Penguin's video on this a few seconds ago. A lot of reason why it inspired me to make this, and basically this lawsuit was because of ISIS and them basically promoting their content on YouTube and basically recruiting people through there that led to a terrorist organization attack. And apparently they're being sued over this because they're blaming YouTube for this by allowing this on their platform. So this guy's been trying to tackle that. And I do agree with that completely. That should not be a thing. I also think that if you're going to do that, I mean, what point are you going to stop? If you're going to have shorts of Russians getting killed and over Ukraine, is that just as bad as this? Or is this not as bad because you don't like the Russians currently? That's just kind of like my thing on it. If, it can be very lopsided to one side is what I'm saying. So when you say stuff like this, I think you should go full in and just exterminate pretty much every form of violence to that degree, rather it be from the side you support or from the side you don't support. I mean, this kind of seems like it's more of a propaganda thing. So if you don't want to have propaganda at all on your platform, then just don't have any propaganda. But then that can breach into other things. But as long as it's violent propaganda, don't do that. All this stuff down here is kind of just filler stuff, but pretty much Twitter tried to recruit him. YouTube, basically he's looked at as they're pretty high guys, basically what they're saying. So this dude is obviously pretty well qualified for the position at hand. Now, with that said, that's kind of his background. I just wanted to kind of go over that. I just looked up some web articles. Now, the big thing is how he's going to take a hold and kind of just do things around YouTube, So apparently they chatted with him. You can go to these websites as well. I just threw kind of some of the first ones I found when I was kind of researching this a little bit. And over here, pretty much, he wants to include more editing tools for shorts, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, shorts, like I said, it's a new form of media that's probably going to be around for a very long time because it's such a high dopamine addiction for basically everyone in my generation, pretty much anybody. Their dopamine addiction is super, super, small right now. So, I mean, it would be extremely unlikely for even 99% of the people watching this video to even make it to this far. Okay? That's how short people's dopamine addiction is. If you made it this far, thank you. Basically, the interactive live streaming would be pretty cool. I don't really know what that means. The monetization is where I kind of think it gets a little bit weird here, and there's a big reasoning for this. The monetization, which is linked into this article, is a lot of the reason why people are speculating why the CEO changed. It's changed because basically the revenue's falling because there's not enough advertising on YouTube. Now, monetization is a big deal because this dude already made, as we can see down here, he basically had a huge hand in YouTube TV, music, and premium, which means this dude already kind of knows how to work the game a little bit, how to get people to buy into stuff that should be honestly very cheap to free, but since they own it, they can do what they want, you know. And then over here, you know, he's the big guy in advertising, so this guy knows how to kind of do that stuff. So they want this guy to basically pump and dump money all over the place for Google. That's what they want this guy to do that. So with that being said, there could be a big change to how they do things around YouTube. I hope that it stays relatively the same. I hope they just kind of increase maybe the I don't know, just like the way how they, you know, people interact with the YouTube videos and stuff like that. Maybe they cut some profit sharings, you know, with ad revenues. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I just know they're going to go pretty heavy into, like, basically they're going to turn into EA over here, most likely with, like, microtransactions. That's kind of what I think they're going to do, and this kind of embeds it even more. So this guy, it took me about 6 minutes to get to this point, but it's my main point here. It's really big into the NFTs and the metaverse. Now, NFTs as a whole currently are complete scams. I'm not going to deny that. I do think, on the other hand, that the actual concept behind NFTs is actually pretty cool. But what happened was a lot of bad actors and just a ton of just shady people got into the NFT business, pumped and dumped a lot of stuff, and now there's a lot of people that don't like NFTs, especially the people that got scammed, okay? So NFTs are overall currently in a really bad state right now, which makes a lot of people very skeptical, extremely skeptical of this dude and what he's going to be able to do with this. But I think from actually reading this, and you can read it as well, pretty much he wants to do this kind of pre-funding or crowdfunding of the video. Now, that is stupid, in my opinion, because pretty much everybody up until maybe when this guy takes place has been making their YouTube videos either for fun, they've been under a company, or they've had ties with about maybe a group of people like FaZe Clan or something like that. And they kind of make their own like videos and stuff like that. They've never had pre-funding or crowdfunding. Anything like Mr. Beast, I don't even think that dude actually asked for money. Instead, he makes his money through basically selling his stuff. You know, money that he gets from his videos, all his passive revenue. I'm sure that dude has a lot of money, but pretty much my point is, even Mr. Beast, I don't think actually asked for pre-funding or crowdfunding. With that being said, anybody who actually pays for a pre-funded or crowdfunded video is going to get scammed for the first couple of years. This is in. If Mr. Beast can basically fund his videos being multi-10,000s, multi-thousands, just off the rip, multi-millions at this point, there is no need for a pre-funding or crowdfunding for a video. Like, period. I don't care what the excuses make. There's just no reason for it, okay? The only way this would be in benefit of anybody would be scammers or massive companies that are not going to use that money correctly. That's pretty much what it is. So this doesn't mean anything to me. That's very stupid. Now, moving on. This is a whole conglomerate of basically saying, and what I translated into my mind is, I might be wrong on this, but pretty much anything in a video is somehow benefiting the like financially is kind of how I'm gathering this. Financially speaking, anybody who watches a video could potentially get money for the videos by acquiring an NFT for them through, it looks like, just making like a clip or maybe even a picture of a video, which is not good because no matter which way you spin it, I don't really care. This makes a lot of really weird interactions between me as a viewer and me as someone who's making a video. It's just very strange to me that they would basically make it to where a viewer can practically acquire your video, because NFTs are meant to be sold. So does that make them the owner of your video? Does that make you not the owner of your video? Do you get residuals from this, which is the whole point of NFTs, was that the original artists would basically sell their art to somebody, but then they would get residuals on the more money that's acquires from it. The only thing that I could even fathom this being relatively okay for, or even profitable is what I'm trying to say, is if, like, let's say I make this video and I'm like a lower than a rookie, as far as, like, I'm like talking about like baseball cards here. You get a rookie YouTuber. Let's say I'm like the rookie YouTuber, okay? You get the rookie YouTuber's NFT and they blow up to be PewDiePie's level. Does their rookie card NFT become like as valuable now because you have the NFT from when they were like a small YouTuber? That's the only case I could even see this being like relatively profitable for anybody. Without that, it's just you're just getting NFTs for stupid reasons. And on top of that, I don't even know where these blockchains are coming from. That's the whole point, is to get blockchains. So are they going with like Ethereum, or are they going with Bitcoin, or are they going with a few others? Most of them are Ethereum, but even at that, I'm like, I don't know. Are they going to make YouTube coin or something like that? Like, how are they going to translate this? Because if that's the case, they're going to start losing a lot of people, man. That's all I'm going to say. Because you're basically running into a bunch of copyright, really obscure copyright stuff that I feel like shouldn't even be touched right now. As just being as far as a YouTube copyright goes. Because right now, it's just kind of rough as far as that stuff goes. But pretty much. So our YouTube, then I'm going to move on to my next point. This is kind of with the NFTs as well, for sure. Are YouTube and Web3 coming closer as Neil Mohan becomes a new CEO? The answer is yeah, pretty much. So YouTube to become more immersive like Web3 in the metaverse. This is a huge point, really, this whole thing. And this is really, it says, in an interview in 2022, Mahomes said, the first area in which you can expect to see impact is gaming. Where we'll work to bring more interactions to games and make them feel more alive. That's cool. I support that. I think that's a pretty cool idea. But why is YouTube even in the gaming market at all? It's YouTube. This isn't like Ubisoft. This isn't EA. This isn't Activision. This isn't Santa Monica Studios. This isn't, Sony. This isn't Microsoft. This is YouTube. Why is YouTube even doing anything with this? Potentially, they're trying to pair up with Facebook and stuff like that. But even at that, Metaverse is like completely dog trash right now. I mean, you have better odds of going with Sony or even making a like literal VR headset with Microsoft. I don't know, man. That's a super this to me is not going to happen for a very long time. This is a very obscure statement. Now, what could happen is Web3 thing. Now, going down here, all this is really cool to read. I'll link this article, and probably this article, because I think this one is very, very critical to understand as to what is happening here. So, this is basically breaking down what Web 1, 2, and 3 are. And I think this will give you an understanding of what and how and why the internet's heading in this direction. So Web 1 was basically the original inceptions of internet, kind of how it's built around today. So basically in the 1900s or 1990s to the early 2000s, the internet was a lot of blog message boards and early portals like AOL and CompuServe. So basically we're talking just, chat rooms, emailing, kind of like MySpace, early Facebook type stuff. And then Web 2 is about around 2005-ish, when you got Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube starting to come up on the uprise. Okay, at this point, YouTube was YouTube. It's not owned by Google. All these websites are very bare bones. They're just basically places where people can go post videos, chat rooms, do basically Twitter, like text prompts, stuff like that. Web 3 is going to try to replace these centralized corporate platforms with open protocols and decentralized community-run networks, combining the open infrastructure of Web 1 and the public infrastructure of Web 2. This sounds cool, but how are they going to do that? Well, see how they're going to do that. Web 3 is the name of some technologist have given the idea of new kinds of internet services that is built using decentralized blockchains, the shared ledger systems used by cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ether. I know I don't know everything about this. I'm not even going to claim I know everything about this, but I know enough to know that this does not sound like the greatest of plans, okay? Like I said, going from what I've seen of a bunch of crypto stuff, a bunch of NFT stuff, this can be pumped and dumped by a lot of people. I really just don't know how the metaverse, YouTube, and NFTs are going to work, really. It's kind of scary because really what I grew up with and what everyone kind of grew up with to this point could be radically changed in the next 5 years, to the point where you're basically talking about, I would say, almost locking a lot of videos behind paywalls, or locking videos behind NFTs type stuff where you might have to pay someone to even like view a video at some point. There might be entire channels that they have a paid video that they put on NFTs, and then videos that aren't paid. So it's like Patreon, but like just for the channel. Are they trying to compete with other things like Patreon? Probably. So I could easily see that. But really, at the end of the day, this dude is trying to gather as much money as possible for Google. And if these companies start making their own Bitcoin, Ether, cryptocurrency in general, that's not good. I really think that gives them a lot of power, in my opinion, that they really shouldn't have. Because basically they're getting paid by the US and all these other countries in their currencies, and they're going to turn around and make them basically decentralized coins that are going to be able to use anywhere, and basically suck a lot of people under the rug for this and make them basically empires that are going to be they're going to be out of the bounds of laws, is basically what I think they're honestly trying to do, is be out of the bounds of laws, that they can't be chained anymore to basically what these countries say as far as taxes and everything like that goes, to the point where they can just gather money as the actual money and then get decentralized money on top of that. Could that be the ultimate goal? I don't know. I mean, I'm just kind of speculating with that at this point. I really want to make a video over this and maybe make some more videos over what I think of cryptocurrencies and NFTs, but this has been going on for a couple of years now. And thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. Subscribe, like, and comment, and then give me some of your opinions in the comments. It'd be pretty cool to read and stuff like that. So yeah, guys, have a good day. Bye.